Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Siti Nurhawati Zamzuri. I would like to talk a little bit about introduction of water supply. A water supply design for a building is under local water authorities requirement. Water supply guidelines is under local authorities and state control. Each state has different guidelines and water supply company. Every water supply needs to reach requirement international standard of quality. There are two types of water supply, which is direct water supply and indirect water supply. The types of water supply will be chosen based on few factors, such as efficiency and suitability of a system in a building, method and distribution of plumbing supplies, cost of installation, maintenance, and more. We have been assigned between our group members to find a site, and this site use indirect cool water supply. So my group members will explain more about indirect cool water supply.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Adiba binti Abdul Aziz, and today I will talk about installation of water system. First is tank. Tank normally will put it on the roof and be covered by the ceiling, but at overseas you will see they put the tank outside of the house. The difference is the way you install that, but the function is still the same. Another installation is piping, which is in installation we use two sets of piping and normally longer for water to go through and have a flow into the house. Other part of installation in cool water system is cistern. Cistern got a 5 system needed in their cistern, and all the functional, and let me show you the function and the picture of the cistern.
First is submersible pump. Submersible pump will transform the kinetic energy, which is converted from material energy into pressure energy. And next is well. Well is extracting water from the well water. Drill first it, and size depends on the size of the house, numbers of plumbing, and water demand. Another part is cistern. Cistern is, as you know, is a part in the toilet. Water go to fulfill the toilet water use, and then the balance will go through to the tank back. Next is pump. Pump got the power from the electric motor that drives an impeller. And the last one will be pressure tank. Pressure tank contains two things, which water at the bottom and compressed air at the top.
So that's all installation I have figured out for this presentation, and that's all from me. And the next presenter will be
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nadira binti Rashid. So I will continue for the next part, which is the process indirect cold water system. So, as we know, the main supply is just used for drinking water and food preparation. So basically, in indirect water systems, only has one drinking outlet. So, the process first, the main supply delivered to the kitchen first. This is because only sink in the kitchen will get directly water from the main water supplies. Then the rest will be delivered to storage tank. So all other appliances will get water from the storage tank, such as toilet, wash machine, and others. This is the part will be indirect cold water system, because other appliances didn't receive water from the main supply but receive from the storage tank. That's all from me for the process of indirect cold water systems. So I will pass to the next persons. Thank you.
I will speak about component function for indirect water system. It has 5 components. Firstly is stopcock. Stopcock used as a valve that control the water in the pipe. It can circulate the water from the rising main to the water system to allow the maintenance will shut off all the water points. Second is a gate valve, or known as exhaust valve. It used as a barrier that control the water through the pad of the fluid. It can found in a parallel form, but usually is found in a wedge form. Without this component, the storage water tank will be drained down. Number 3, it is a hot water cylinder. It is a machine that relates to the water system that provide the hot water for the water point, like sink and bathtub. Number 4 is a storage water tank. main system of the property, it usually is positioned at the highest place of the property. Typically, the storage water tank hold the 230 to 360 liters, equal to the 50 to 80 gallon water in the system. And usually, the storage water tank use the bowl cut flow water system to control the amount of the water in the system. Number 5 is a overflow pipe. It only found at the two places: storage water tank, and a toilet. Just like the name, it used for bring out the overflow water from the water tank and the toilet, and to avoid the overflow in the system.
For the advantages of indirect cold water supply, first, the availability of water storage during the water cut. All the main water supply will be supplied to the cold water storage system. Second, it is lower water bill. When the risk of back stiffness is high, the water bill will be also high. It is because it have less risk of back stiffness. The last advantages of indirect cold water supply is lower maintenance of pipe. It is because there is no threat of pipe burst since use less pressure. The disadvantages of indirect cold water supply is, first, it is high cost. It is because it requires more large storage and also more pipe work. When there is more pipe work, it will be more expensive. Second, it uses more space. As we know, indirect cold water supply need a water tank, which is normally be seen at the roof. Indirect cold water supply need a lot of space for the bulky tank. The last disadvantages of indirect cold water supply is the high maintenance of system. It is because the room or the place need to be well insulated and ventilated. It also must be provided with thermostatic control on heating facility in order to keep the system well cared. So we continue to the conclusion with Siti.
From all of the explanation from my group members, you can know a lot of information for indirect water supply. So that's all from us. Thank you. Stay at home.